There is a version of your retirement where the roof starts leaking in March, the furnace flatlines in November, and a dentist looks you dead in the eye in July and says the word implants, plural, all in your very first year. And here's the part that stings. Every single one of those bills shows up after your last paycheck has already walked out the door, waved goodbye, and taken direct deposit with it. That's not bad luck, folks. That's bad timing. Because a $12,000 surprise hits completely differently when there's no Friday paycheck coming to bail you out. When you're working, a big bill is annoying. When you're retired, that same bill can quietly reach into your nest egg, pull out a chunk, and set your whole plan back years, especially if it happens early while your portfolio is trying to find its footing. So today, we're doing something that could potentially save you thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars over time. We're going through the stuff you want to upgrade, replace, or just plain deal with while you're still earning a paycheck, so it never becomes a five-figure ambush in retirement. Stick around to number 7 because it's one of the costly retirement expenses many people underestimate, and Medicare won't help much with it. Grab your coffee, let's get into it. Let me first give you the money logic, because this is the whole game. When you're working, you have 3 superpowers you're about to lose: a steady paycheck, employer health insurance, and a credit score that banks actually respect. Lenders love employed people. The day you retire, on paper, you look riskier to a bank, even if you've got a mountain of savings, because you no longer have that W-2 income they love to see. So the strategy is simple. Big, predictable, one-time expenses should happen on the earning side of your retirement date, not the spending side. You want to walk into retirement with the big-ticket stuff already handled, warranties fresh, and your savings untouched. Think of it like sending your money into retirement fully vaccinated against surprise bills. Let's build the list. 1. Your car. Buy your last reasonable car. If your current car is old enough to have a CD player and a sense of nostalgia, this is the time. While you're still working, you've got the income and the credit score to get a good loan, or better yet, to pay cash without it hurting. I'm not telling you to go buy a fire-breathing sports car and cosplay as a man having a midlife crisis. I'm saying buy the sensible, reliable, boring car you can comfortably drive for the next 10 to 15 years. The one with good safety ratings, decent gas mileage, and seats your knees will forgive you for. Because here's the alternative. You retire, you're 4 years in, the transmission goes, and suddenly you're financing a car on a fixed income at whatever interest rate a bank hands a retiree. Not fun. Buy the car while a car payment is just a line item and not a lifestyle threat. Get the newer safety features too: automatic braking, blind spot warnings, backup cameras. Your reflexes are wonderful now. Future you will appreciate the backup. Number 2, your roof, because it tends to fail at the worst time. Nobody wakes up excited to spend money on a roof. A new roof is the least fun purchase in America. You spend 10, 15, 20 grand and your house looks exactly the same. From the ground, you can't even tell. But a roof has a lifespan, and it does not care about your feelings or your budget. If your roof is pushing 15 or 20 years, get it inspected now while you're working. Because there are 2 ways to buy a roof. Option 1, you plan for it, you get 3 quotes, you negotiate, you pay for it out of income. Option 2, it starts leaking during a February storm, water's coming through your ceiling, and now you're paying emergency prices to the first contractor who answers the phone while your living room turns into an indoor water feature. One of those is usually a lot more than the other, and it's rarely the planned one. Handle the roof while you've got a paycheck absorbing the hit. Your retirement self should be worrying about tea times, not tarps. Number 3, your HVAC, heat, AC, and the water heater. Your furnace, your air conditioner, and your water heater have a real talent for dramatic timing. The AC likes to quit during the first heat wave of summer. The furnace prefers the coldest night of the year. And your water heater seems to save itself for Christmas morning with the in-laws in town. I'm half convinced it's written into the warranty. If any of these are more than 10 to 15 years old, price out replacements now. A modern, efficient system doesn't just save you from an emergency, it can lower your monthly energy bills, which matters a lot when you're on a fixed income and every recurring cost is under a microscope.
Bonus tip: when you replace it, ask about high-efficiency models and any rebates or tax credits available. Sometimes the government will actually chip in to help you buy the thing. Do it now while a new furnace is a Tuesday, not a catastrophe. 4. Big appliances. Let's stay in the house. Take an honest look at your major appliances. The refrigerator that's been humming a little too enthusiastically, the dishwasher that now requires a firm word and a slam, the washer that walks across the laundry room on the spin cycle like it's trying to escape. If they're on their last legs, replace them while you're working. Not because it's glamorous, it's not, but because these are predictable, one-time costs that are so much easier to swallow with a paycheck behind you. And here's a sneaky benefit people miss. Newer appliances tend to use way less electricity and water. Your 20-year-old fridge is basically a small space heater with a light in it, quietly padding your utility bill every single month. Swapping it out can put a few bucks back in your pocket for years. Try to handle the appliances now and walk into retirement with a kitchen that isn't plotting against you. 5. Your home itself. Set it up to age with you. Here's a stat that surprises people. The vast majority of us want to stay in our own homes as we get older. Great goal. But most homes are designed for 35-year-olds who bound up the stairs two at a time and think grab bars are for other people. While you're working and while contractors are affordable and you're mobile enough to supervise the chaos, think about the modifications that let you stay put. A walk-in shower instead of a step-over tub, a bedroom and full bath on the main floor, wider doorways, better lighting, lever door handles instead of the round knobs that arthritis absolutely despises. I know, nobody wants to install a grab bar at 58, it feels like admitting something. But there's a huge difference between calmly adding these features on your own schedule with your own money versus scrambling to retrofit your entire house after a fall at premium prices. 6. Your mortgage. Deal with it while banks still love you. Quick money move. If you're going to refinance, take out a home equity line of credit, or make any big move on your mortgage, it's often easier while you still have a paycheck. I said it earlier, and I'll say it again because it's important. Lenders often evaluate retired borrowers differently than borrowers with employment income. When you've got W-2 income, you may qualify for better rates and bigger lines of credit. After you retire, even with a healthy portfolio, approval isn't impossible, but banks can get more cautious and start asking a lot of pointed questions about where your income's coming from and how you'll document it. So, if part of your plan involves setting up a HELOC as a safety net or refinancing to a better rate, it's usually smoother to get it locked in before you hand in your batch. You want that financial flexibility already in your back pocket, approved and ready before your income status changes on paper. Set up the safety net while they still think you're a great catch. 7. Your teeth. Here is a fact that blindsides a lot of new retirees. Traditional Medicare generally doesn't cover routine dental, not cleanings, not fillings, not crowns, and usually not the big stuff, root canals, implants, dentures. Now, some Medicare Advantage plans include limited dental, so it's worth checking your specific plan, but the coverage is often thin and you shouldn't count on it for the expensive work. Dental implants often run several $1,000s per tooth. A full mouth of serious work can climb into the tens of thousands of dollars, and traditional Medicare will look at that bill, shrug, and say, sounds like a you problem. So here's the play. While you still have dental insurance through your employer, use it. Get the checkup, get the deep cleaning, get that crown you've been putting off. Handle the root canal now while insurance covers a chunk of it, instead of later when you might be paying every penny out of pocket on a fixed income.
Front-load your dental work while someone else is still helping you pay for it. Your teeth are not getting younger, and neither is that price tag. 8. Your eyes and your ears. Same trap, different sense. Traditional Medicare generally doesn't cover routine eye exams for glasses, and it doesn't cover hearing aids. Again, some Medicare Advantage plans offer a little help here, but it's usually limited. And hearing aids, brace yourself, can run several $1,000s per pair for something roughly the size of a jelly bean. So while you've got vision and hearing coverage through work, use it. Get the updated prescription. Get the good glasses. If you've been squinting at menus and pretending you can hear your spouse from the other room, and let's be honest, some of us have made an art form of nodding along, get it checked while it's more affordable. Being able to see clearly and hear well isn't a luxury in retirement. It's the difference between actually enjoying the movie, the grandkids, the trip, and quietly missing half of it while nodding politely. Sort out the eyes and ears now on someone else's dime while you still can. 9. Your body. Consider the elective stuff while you're covered. Let's go one level deeper. This one could save you thousands. Right now, if you've got solid employer health insurance, that coverage may be more generous than what you'll have in retirement, though that's not a universal rule, since Medicare plus a good supplement can also be excellent. The point is to know what you've got and plan around it. So if there's an elective procedure on the horizon, the knee that clicks, the shoulder that complains, the hip that's been fine, really, for 3 years, and your doctor recommends treatment where the timing is flexible, it may be worth discussing whether completing it before retirement makes financial sense. To be clear, I'm not saying schedule surgery just for insurance reasons. Your health and your doctor's advice come first. I'm saying if it's happening anyway, timing can matter. Get the physical. Do the recommended screenings. It's a whole lot better to enter retirement healthy, patched up, and cleared for takeoff than to spend your first 2 years of freedom in waiting rooms. The goal of retirement is to actually do the things. Travel, hike, chase the grandkids, finally learn pickleball, and maybe immediately injure yourself like the rest of us. That's tougher when your body's held together with duct tape and stubbornness. Your mattress and your sleep setup. I know a mattress feels like the least financial planning item on this list, but hear me out. You're going to spend roughly a third of your entire retirement horizontal. That's a lot of hours on whatever you're sleeping on. If your mattress is old enough that it's got a permanent crater shaped exactly like you, and you wake up feeling like you went 10 rounds with a folding chair, it's time. A good mattress is a few hundred to a couple $1,000s, one time, and it directly affects how you feel every single day for years. Buy it now while it's a comfortable purchase and not a "should we really spend this" negotiation on a fixed income. Same goes for a decent recliner, good pillows, the whole sleep situation. You've earned a good night's sleep. Set yourself up to actually get it. 11. Your windows and insulation. Let's talk about the money that's literally floating out of your house. If your windows are the original ones, the kind that rattle when the wind blows and have that lovely little draft you can feel from across the room, you're basically paying to heat and cool the entire neighborhood. Old single-pane windows are just fancy holes in your wall. In the winter, your warm air escapes. In the summer, your cool air escapes. And your furnace and AC just keep grinding away trying to keep up, nudging your bill higher every month. Upgrading to newer, energy-efficient windows, and while you're at it, adding some real insulation up in that attic helps plug those leaks for good. And here's the kicker. This isn't a one-time savings. It's a recurring bill that can go down every month going forward. On a fixed income, that recurring savings is pure gold. There are also frequently tax credits and rebates floating around for efficiency upgrades, so the government might actually chip in. Do it while a paycheck's absorbing the upfront cost and let retirement you enjoy the smaller bills. 12. Your tech. Now let's drag you gently into the modern world. I'm not saying you need the flashiest gadget on the shelf. I'm saying get yourself a reliable phone, a decent computer, solid internet, and maybe a tablet with a nice big screen your eyes will genuinely thank you for. Because retirement runs on this stuff now. Video calls with the grandkids, managing your accounts, booking the trips, streaming your shows, and yes, watching channels exactly like this one. Here's the thing nobody tells you. Technology has a learning curve, and it's usually a lot easier to climb that curve now while your brain's in work mode and you've got the patience for it than to be wrestling with a brand new device and a tight budget at the same time 3 years into retirement. So get the good equipment while it's an easy purchase. Get it set up, get comfortable with it, learn the buttons now. That way, when retirement hits, your tech is one less thing on the figure it out later pile, and one more thing that just quietly works. Every single thing on this list follows one simple rule. It's usually cheaper, easier, and a whole lot less stressful to handle before you retire than after. You're trying to do one thing here. Protect your future self from a pile of predictable bills all landing at the exact moment your paycheck disappears. Because that's the real issue. It's not one big expense. It's the pile of them. The roof and the furnace and the car and the dental work all showing up in your first couple of years, quietly draining the nest egg you spent 40 years building right when you needed to last the longest. You can't dodge every surprise. Life will always find a creative new way to send you a bill. But you can knock out the big, predictable stuff now while you've got a paycheck, insurance, and a credit score all working in your favor. Walk into retirement with the big things handled, the warranties fresh, and your savings sitting there untouched, doing its actual job. That's not being paranoid. That's being smart. Future you, the one sleeping great on the new mattress in the paid-off car under the brand new roof with all their teeth, is going to be extremely grateful. If this was helpful, do me a favor, give it a like, and drop a comment down below. Tell me what you're upgrading before you retire, or what you wish you'd handled sooner. I read them, and honestly, the best tips in the comments are sometimes better than half the stuff I say up here. Now go take care of that roof. I'll see you in the next one.